Do you know why you procrastinate? Have you ever stopped and thought where it actually comes from? Sometimes you need to do something and then you know that's gonna be beneficial for you. And it feels like there is something holding you back, and then it's just like you can't get that thing done. You can't get up and just get the job done. Why is it so hard to get up and just do that thing that you know that is going to be so beneficial to you? Most of the people, they never ask that question. They just think it's laziness or maybe just lack of motivation. But let me tell you something that you actually need to hear. 90% of the distractions are actually internal triggers. They are not external triggers like phones, distractions or anything like that. Research shows that it's just a coping mechanism, not actually a productivity problem. It often comes from a deeper emotional roots like fear, perfectionism, basically showing what's going to happen to the others, or even fear of success, because you feel the pressure of achieving a goal. When you are overwhelmed, it's just like you feel insecure, you don't know what to do, your brain just like looks for some comfort. It just tells you to grab your phone, just go to do something that actually gives you that pleasure, just give you something that actually comforts the brain, which is just going to make the job of the brain a little bit easier, basically. And I know what's that feeling, it's just kept me stuck for years. And then it's so hard for me to break out of that situation, Procrastination is something everyone feels at some point, but you just gotta face the truth. Until you face the emotional triggers and just act anyway, you're just gonna be stuck exactly where you are. So that's when discipline comes into place, Sometimes you're just like feeling sad, feeling tired, or just feeling not in the mood to do anything. But then when you have got the discipline in your life, you know that those things are not gonna affect you. So you're just gonna get up and just get things done. And that's where a lot of people stay. They stay in the input mode. Let me just explain what input mode is. A lot of people just spend time watching motivational videos, reading a book, listening to podcasts, and then they just think they're actually, doing something for their lives. But if you don't act, and then they think they're just growing, but then what they're actually doing, they're hiding in preparation, they're hiding in consumption. This is what I call the input trap, where people consume a lot of content, but they don't act, they don't do anything. That is something that people say that if you ever read a book and you didn't change your behavior, that means you just completely wasted your time. So if you watch something, if you read a book or listen to a podcast that actually brings you something, you just gotta change your behavior. You gotta do something about it. Because if you don't do that, you just completely waste your time. And then to know if you have been in that input trap, you just ask yourself, what have you done today that actually move you forward? Have you done something that actually gonna put a little bit closer to achieve your goals? Have you actually done something related to it? If you haven't, you are probably I can probably tell you, there is just like inside of that input trap. A lot of people just spend so much time preparing to it, I've been there. A lot of people just spend so much time just like consuming content, but they don't actually act for anything. They just like keeping that loop. Just watching again and just watch one here, just watch one there and just watch another one, and then they don't act, they don't do anything, and then you're just like wasting your time and not actually getting things done. And then I can tell you why this input trap is so dangerous for you. I'm just gonna explain you the Pareto principle, which says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So let's just make it simple, 80% of your gains at the gym comes from 20% of your consistent workouts that you don't skip every day. 80% of your progress on YouTube, business or content that you're just trying to do, comes from actually 20% of your actions. 80% of your personal growth comes from 20% of your disciplined decisions. So it's just simple. It's just if you ever watch it, but if you spend 90% of your time just consuming content and just planning to do something, you are actually investing in the 80% wrong. So that's why you are just stuck there. You just don't need to do more. You don't have to watch more videos. You don't have to read more books. Of course, they're definitely helpful. But if you don't act, things are not gonna change. You just need to do the right thing, That's all output is about. Just getting ourselves out there and getting things done. I'm just gonna quickly explain to you how to break that cycle. Here's how you can escape procrastination and actually become an output man driven. The first one is identify your 20%. Right now, just pause, just ask yourself, what's the one thing that I could actually do today which is just gonna bring me forward? So that's gonna be your 20%. It could be like that video they're just like, postponing. It could be that video they're actually delaying to post. list? It could be something that the gym that you're actually not going through. Is it showing up at the gym that you're just like not following up? Is it reaching out to someone that actually needs your help? It could be anything, but just start acting today. That's the most important thing. If you just don't act today, we are just going to stay in the same place. That's exactly what we don't want. We just want to get rid of procrastination. If you want to do that, you're just going to get those things, just get out of our way. Just start acting today, which is just going to be so much helpful for you. You only have to get one thing and just do that thing and repeat it. When you get that one thing, you're just going to create the mindset of a disciplined person, which is just going to become so much easier to get things. The second one, just use your input to power your output. What I mean by that is, if you read a book, just do something about it. If you read something that is just so important for you, just start acting today. Just change your life today. Change your behaviors. Change the things that you do in your everyday life. If you learn something, just share it. Just talk to a friend. Just talk to a colleague at work. Just share your things that you actually learned. For example, if you're just watching this video today, just talk to a friend tomorrow at work. Just say like, oh, watching this video of a guy. He's just telling me to do these things. Because when you talk to people, when you tell the others what you have learned, that becomes so much easier for you to actually learn that thing. If you don't act today, you are just going to pretend to yourself that you're actually changing something, but you are still stuck in the same place. Focus on the output. Focus on the actions. Focus on the things just to move your life forward. And then the third one is just create before you consume. Before you watch something or before you read something new, just do something related to the last thing that you actually consumed. For example, if you read a book yesterday and you didn't do anything about that book after you read it, before you start reading something else or before you start watching another video, just do something that is actually related to that book or to that video that you actually just watched yesterday or something like that. Because if you keep watching some more things, you're just gonna keep in that loop of staying that input trap that I just told you about. So that's one thing that you don't want, because that's just gonna create procrastination in your life, and then you're just gonna be stuck in the same place that is just gonna suck your energy. You're not gonna be able to do anything. So you gotta see yourself acting. Once you act, you can actually see yourself going towards your goals. Just do it today and just do it right now. Don't wait just to feel ready. Just create momentum by showing up. That's all you need to do. Just do at least one thing today. That's gonna be even if it's small, if it's uncomfortable, if you're feeling not ready to do it, just do it something towards it. That's the main goal. You gotta do it, guys. You just can't be in that position anymore. I'm just here to help you just to beat procrastination. That's something that a lot of people do in life, and I know it's hard. Some people is just like, sometimes you feel motivated, sometimes you're just like, you want to really do that thing, you want to get out of that place, but if you don't start acting, if you don't have the discipline, everything is going to become so much harder. Then if you're looking for something a bit more helpful, I'm just going to leave the link in the description below, where I created a community where just like disciplined people are there. So I'm just going to help you to walk through where you can actually, just beat procrastination and create a life of discipline. If you enjoyed the video, just please leave a like here, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be so much more video coming our way related to discipline, procrastination, habits, and everything that can actually make your life better. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one.